Right. So what do I want to do next? The next thing that I want to be able to do here is go ahead and grab my values and actually create a material from it. Now, I'm going to jump out of here for a moment and jump into the Python console that Blender has built into it. And I love exploring this. And so it may seem a bit magical that, oh, it's all right for you. You know all the commands to use. No, no, not at all. I will sit here and I'll go pby.data and have a look at the various things that are within the data. And I go, oh, there's materials. Well, let's type in materials. Again, pressing tab will autofill. And
And I look up documentation every time I code something. Like,
yeah, yeah,
it's just a thing you do.
exactly. Um, so we can see here already that our materials contains there's two materials in our in our data at the moment.
We can't see that because your head's in the way.
Ah,
Down in front.
there it is. Yeah, that's how you solve that problem. I'll just bear that in mind as I'm going through. Right, so we have in our side here, we actually have another outliner open that has in it, and you can change your normal outliner to that. In fact, let's do that. Normal outliner here, Blender file. So looking at this blend file, what data does the blend file contain? And it's broken down into brushes, cameras, collections, images, lights, etc. So just playing around real quick, if we go bpy.data, because we're looking at the data within this blend file, and we type in li, oh yeah, there is lights there. And we can see that that's got one in it. And when we go, oh, wait a minute, I need to bring that up. We've got one in lights, two in materials. Well, let's go have a closer look over the side. Lights, well, yes, it has one light in it. Materials, it shows us two materials there. And if we go ahead and have a look at them, dot stroke and dot material. So what we can go ahead and do is we can have a look at what's in a collection at any point. We can go and use the print. In fact, I'm going to hide my lovely face for the moment. Where is OBS gone? Where are you? Now, let's hide me out the way for a moment so I can just not have to go up all the time. So if we print bpy.data.materials, what it should do, all being well, ah, no, it's just printed the same thing. Have I made a mistake there? Hold on. Materials. I thought we could print what's in there. So I think we'd have to do a for loop to print out each one that's in there. So bpy dot, here we go, data dot mat materials. But we can reach into each one of these by name if we need to. And there are also loads of other operations we can do on here. So in this particular case, we can create a new material. Look, there's a new just there. And it will give us a hint as well as to what we want to do. So if we want to create a new material and run that, it says here the required parameter name is not specified. Oh, okay. So what we can do here is we can go name equals, what should we call it, Jan?
What should we call it, Jan?
Okay, we'll call it Toucan. Thank you for your suggestion.
That's what I said.
And now when we go ahead and look at our materials, there is a third material called Toucan, and it is available here. Now, one thing to bear in mind is it's got no users at the moment, which means that if we were to reset this file by saving it and reopening it, it will disappear. So we'd have to make that or give it a fake user. So let's have a look back over here how we might do that. And then we can jump back into our script and actually do these things. So so we've got a material named Toucan. So if I open a square bracket and here we go, Toucan, it will auto fill for us. Brilliant. Now, does that have operations we can do on it? Wow, it has a lot. Some of them disappear off the screen. So we've got lots of things here. We can return the name. We know what the name is, but you can return its name. So you can see there are lots of different options that you could do. And consulting the actual Blender Python APIs usually the best way of working out what these things need for them to come in. Look at there, there's a diffuse color. That's interesting. We're going to be using that later. So that is the diffuse color. That's actually this color here when you're not using nodes. It's the base color. When you're using nodes, you actually have to go into the node tree to the principal BSDF which will be a shader that's being used. Here we go. And actually go to this node input here and actually change the default value that's here, and then we can adjust the colors. I will go through both of those because I think it's useful if you wanted to use the principled BSDF or just whatever. Oh, wrong section. Whatever it is without using nodes. It's entirely up to you how you approach that. What you tend to find is the base color here might come across into a game engine, and sometimes the use nodes ones won't. So you get a double option there if you want to go through that. Anyway, let's go back to scripting and into here. So we've got Toucan, and we can change the diffuse color. And then we've got four options to choose from. So we could go through each one individually, or we could set it equal to a tuple. A tuple is an immutable list, I think is a fair way of saying it. It's expecting a value between 1 and 0, and it's expecting 4 values as well. So it's expecting red, green, blue, and the alpha. So how transparent something is. Now, with this, if we wanted to have a yellow, if we send in red and green as a value of 1 and blue as a value of 0, we should get yellow coming out. Let's go and test that. So we need to be on the right material. We've got Toucan here, and look at that. It's yellow. Now, you'll notice that this little preview here has not changed. That's because originally it was using nodes, so it's expecting this value here to actually be yellow. And there we go. It does update. Now, we'll sort out applying it to this one later on,